2:15 a.m. The sky over Iran. At an altitude of 50 feet, three eerie black shapes glide forward. They are wings in flight. A design of the future. Something that shouldn't be able to fly. This is the B-2 Spirit, the pinnacle of 70 years of U.S. military aerospace engineering. A strategic asset worth $2.2 billion. A machine designed to penetrate any airspace on Earth, destroy any target, and return home before the enemy even realizes who attacked them. It is the most expensive and terrifying weapon in U.S. Air Force history. Washington's invisible fist. Inside the cockpit of the B-2, codenamed Reaper 1, Lieutenant Colonel Ajax and Major Ghost breathe pure oxygen. They have been flying non-stop for 14 hours from Whiteman Air Force Base, Missouri. Their screens display a blinking green dot. Target Alpha, the U-4D uranium enrichment facility. It is the nightmare of military planners. A nuclear fortress buried 90 meters deep inside a granite mountain, built to survive a tactical nuclear strike. Tomahawk missiles? Useless. F-35 seconds would be shredded by the air defense network. Only the B-2, and only the B-2 can carry the 13-ton GBU-57 to this location. Reaper 1 begins its final approach, flying straight into the heart of the air defense network, 50 miles east, at an S-300 radar station of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. A young sergeant rubs his eyes. His screen is empty, terrifyingly empty. Russia's S-300 system, the pride of Tehran, is supposed to see even an F-35. But the B-2 was built on a different level. Its radar cross-section is the size of an insect, swallowed whole by the radar's own algorithms. Yet the sergeant hears a faint hiss, a weak electrical disturbance, and alarm screeches. In the sky, Ajax flips a switch. Bomb bay doors opening. The moment the belly of the $2 billion beast opens, its radar cross-section spikes for exactly 3 seconds. On the sergeant's screen, a faint red blip flashes, then vanishes. Signal! I have a signal! He slams the red alarm button. At the outpost, sirens tear through the night. Steel doors 10 meters thick slam shut. The 3 volts 173 missile launchers begin rotating, scanning the sky desperately. Too late. The 13-ton steel storm has already left the aircraft. 60 days earlier, Situation Room, the White House. The air smells of cold coffee and unbearable tension. The CIA director places a top-secret report on the president's desk. Only one summary line is marked in red. Diplomacy has failed. Cyber warfare operations have been neutralized. Satellite intelligence confirms Iran is 60 days away from a nuclear breakout. It is a death sentence 60 days, and the world will face a new nuclear power. A bomb is counting down. The US president has 2 options. 1. Let Iran obtain nuclear weapons. This would trigger a devastating arms race in the Middle East. Israel will act. Saudi Arabia will demand equivalent weapons. An already unstable region will be pushed into full-scale war. 2. Order a preemptive military strike. This would ignite an all-out war with Iran. The Strait of Hormuz, artery of 30% of the world's oil, would shut down within hours. Oil prices would skyrocket to $300 per barrel. Both choices are dangerous. They chose action. The order was relayed to the Pentagon. The question changed from if to how. How to destroy Target Alpha, the mountain fortress. The fortress isn't an office building. It is an engineer's nightmare. An impregnable fortress, buried more than 90 meters inside solid granite. Above it lie dozens of layers of reinforced concrete, built to withstand seismic shock. The main centrifuge chambers are armored, designed to survive multiple nuclear strikes. A strike of hundreds of Tomahawk missiles would only scratch the mountain. Deploy an F-35 squadron? They're stealthy, but what can they carry? GBU Trent Bomb 2, 000 pounds each. Powerful weapons. But dropping GBU 31 seconds on the fortress is like hitting a steel wool mammoth with a sledgehammer. They would be shredded by S-303 volts, 3007-3 fire before releasing enough bombs. Something stronger is needed. Specifically, the GBU-57 MOP, The 30,000-pound smart, non-nuclear bunker buster, 13 tons of steel and explosives. It doesn't create craters. It is designed like a drill from hell, boring 200 feet into the earth or 60 feet of reinforced concrete before detonating. And on this planet, only one platform can carry that 13-ton monster and remain invisible to the S-300 network, the B-2 Spirit. But can a $2.2 billion machine, even the mightiest weapon in history, truly neutralize an entire national nuclear program? Or will this be the opening shot of a regional war? Before witnessing the 13-ton steel storm, if you enjoy deep military analysis, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss how Iran's S-300 firewall clashes with America's invisible phantom. The firewall, that is what Iran's Revolutionary Guard calls their integrated air defense system. A proud, dense network built with sweat and billions of dollars. Tonight, it is being tested 3:05 a.m. at the S-300 battery defending the fortress. The battery commander, Lieutenant Colonel Hamid, is losing his mind, shouting frantic alarms. His system reports it is being locked onto by dozens of anti-radiation missiles from the direction of the Gulf. Officers desperately try to reboot the system to escape the jammed frequencies. Radar screens are empty not because of jamming, but because the B-2 Phantom is flying above the interference layer. Its radar-absorbent coating and flying wing design defy the laws of physics. It swallows radar waves whole. The S-300 was designed to catch F-16 seconds, F-15 seconds, even F-35 seconds. It was not designed to catch a stealth monster with the radar cross-section of a bird. At that moment, another emergency channel erupts, this time from Natanz, the second largest nuclear facility. Natanz reports an attack. Repeat, target Bravo is under attack. Power outage. Guards report suppressed gunfire, the thwip of Mk-13 sniper rifles. Guards are down. Shape charges rip apart the transformers. Natanz plunges into darkness. He is forced to divert attention and dispatch armed helicopters to Natanz immediately. That is a fatal mistake. In the sky, an F-22 Raptor acts as an airborne relay, transmitting encrypted data. Target Bravo has been neutralized. Reaper 2 and Reaper 3 may proceed. Two other B-2 seconds break off from the first one, heading toward Natanz. What seemed like a diversion is actually a real attack. And while General Alireza is looking toward Natanz, at Fordo, Reaper 1 is directly overhead. 3:15 a.m. Ajax gives the order, open the bomb bay. 3/10 seconds. When the enormous doors under the B-2 open, its radar cross-section increases. At the S-300 radar station in Fordo, the young sergeant who ignored the interference and switched to manual scan sees it. Not a clear red dot, just a faint ripple on the screen at 50 feet altitude. Signal! I have a signal! He shouts, voice cracking. Bearing now, bearing now. We sector Vaifan. Ling ling ling. Commander Hamid does not think. He slams the fire button. Target locked, launch all missiles. 4 48-6E missiles, each weighing nearly 2 tons, roar off their launch rails. They tear through the night with a pillar of blinding flame. They surge into the sky at Mach 6, desperately trying to hit a target only 15 kilometers away. A soldier lifts his head, watching streaks of fire vanish into the darkness, praying for a miracle. Let us go back 48 hours. Whiteman Air Force Base, Missouri, the classified briefing room of the 509th Bomb Wing. The room is cold and quiet, like a tomb. They are America's elite pilots. Gentlemen, you will fly straight 30 hours round trip with 3 aerial refuelings. He points to a 3D model of the fortress buried 300 feet under granite. Gentlemen, they were wrong.
You will fly straight through.
A black metallic cylinder. It looks like a rocket without an engine. He walks to the screen.
It's indestructible. Gentlemen, they were
It is a
wrong.
smart
The
weapon.
facility is buried deep.
Its body is forged from a special tungsten steel alloy, engineered as a kinetic drill. But the key lies in the fuse. It has a dual charge detonator. Upon impact, a primary charge in the nose activates. It acts like a hammer, breaking the surface concrete layer. Immediately after, the main bomb body, now a drill from hell, continues its descent. It tunnels through rock, steel, and concrete. Reaper 1's mission is to drop 2 MOPs into the same shaft with perfect alignment. The first bomb opens the door, drilling the tunnel. The second, dropped 5 seconds later, must follow that same path and detonate inside the rubble. This is the electronic nerve center of the nuclear force. 6 men sit inside. This is Operation Desert Phantom. A 4-star Air Force general begins the briefing. 1 over the Atlantic, 1 over the Mediterranean, 1 over the Red Sea. Scientists say it cannot be destroyed.
This is Operation Desert Phantom. You will fly.
He switches the display.
30 hours.
Sleek, 6 meter long. This is the GBU-57 MOP Massive Ordnance Penetrator, the newest upgraded variant, Block 4.
Gentlemen,
We call it the Fortress Destroyer.
Buried deep. Your ingress point will be here, striking the target complex.
This is the GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator, Block 4. It is the largest conventional weapon in our arsenal.
And the second bomb will hit the mountainside useless. The operation fails. 3:15 a.m. Back to the cockpit of Reaper 1. Ajax and Ghost are in the kill zone. They are flying above the most heavily defended airspace on Earth. The air in the cockpit reeks of metal and sweat. Open bomb bay, Ajax orders. His voice is calm through the intercom. Only the steady breathing through their oxygen masks is louder. This is the dangerous moment. The B-2 stealth design is flawless. Smooth curves that swallow radar waves. But when the giant doors under its belly open, the $2.2 billion aircraft exposes edges and angles, its radar cross-section skyrocketing hundreds of times. It is a perfect shark until it opens its mouth. And the moment it opens its mouth, it bleeds radar signals. I see it, one signal. Weak, but very clear. Azimuth 030, altitude 50 feet. It's right above us. Lock the target, the commander roars. 4 48-6E missiles, each nearly 2 tons, scream to life, preparing to launch from their tubes, hovering for a millisecond before the main engines ignite, ripping the night apart in a burst of white flame. 4 fiery spears shoot into the sky at Mach 6, heading straight for the tiny insect on the radar screen. Inside Reaper 1's cockpit, hell erupts. Beep, beep, beep. Warning systems scream, red lights flashing across the cockpit like a horror film. The MWS missile warning system shows 4 threats inbound. Missiles incoming, 4 of them, 8 seconds to impact. Ghost yells he is no longer calm. They're locking us, they're locking straight onto us. Ajax does not flinch. He wrestles the control stick, keeping the $2.2 billion aircraft as stable as possible. If he dodges now, the bomb will miss. The entire mission fails. He stares at the targeting display. The green crosshair is locked onto the ventilation shaft. 7 seconds. Ghost screams. Bomb locked. 3, 2, 1. Ajax hits release. A violent jolt as the first 13-ton monster drops from the aircraft. Bomb 1 away. 5-second countdown. Ajax growls, drenched in sweat. He keeps the aircraft level. 4 fiery spears are now only miles away. 5 seconds. Ghost screams. The missiles are too close. 3, 2, 1. Bomb 2 released. Close bay doors, deploy countermeasures, dive hard. He yanks the control stick, throwing the massive flying wing into an impossible turn. The 200-ton aircraft shudders violently, groaning under the strain as it tries to escape the incoming metal storm. It ejects a cloud of decoys and blinding flares, desperately trying to distract the 4 hungry hounds chasing it. 2 13-ton monsters have left the belly of the B-2. The moment the second bomb is released, Major Ajax snaps the stick again. The B-2, a massive wing, nearly 200 tons, executes an impossible evasive turn. It banks at 60 degrees, fighting to break out of the missile trajectory. At the same time, it releases a cloud of decoys and brilliant flares, desperately trying to lure off the 4 S-300 fire spears rushing toward it. This is a battle between Russia's brute kinetic power and America's stealth electronic warfare. 4 48-6E missiles are ascending. The first and second missiles are fooled by the B-2's electronic warfare suite. They believe the aircraft has moved eastward. They chase after the aluminum chaff clouds and detonate harmlessly in mid-air, producing bright halos. The third one gets through. It locks onto the faint heat signature from the B-2's F-118 engines. It charges forward, but the ram coating and sudden angle change from the B-2 make it slip off. It streaks past the right wing, leaving only a deadly swirl of air, but the fourth missile breaks through. Its radar seeker is not fooled. It locks onto the hot air wake left by the B-2's evasive maneuver. The B-2 shakes violently inside the steel storm. Ghost shouts engine 3 hit. Left wing hydraulics dropping, stick pressure failing. Ajax growls, wrestling with the controls. The aircraft is trying to roll over, drifting left from hydraulic loss. Switch to backup controls, shut down engine 3 heading west. 800 miles and we're safe. The B-2, a wounded bird, begins limping toward the Iraqi border, where KC-46 tankers await. Below, at Fordow, while Reaper 1 is battling physics, the 2 GBU-57 Hammers are fulfilling their mission. The first MOP dives downward. It strikes with centimeter precision. The primary charge detonates, blasting away the first 10 meters of reinforced concrete. The main bomb body begins its journey. It drills through granite like cutting through butter. 30 meters, 60 meters, 80 meters, it carves a perfect tunnel. 5 seconds later, the second MOP plunges downward, following the exact path the first one created. It pierces the rubble, going deeper, unobstructed by the loosened rock layers. It stops at 90 meters right above the main centrifuge hall. And then no sound outside, just a deep thud. Inside Fordow, it is the apocalypse. 2 explosions equivalent to 5 tons of TNT detonate, unleashing terrifying shockwaves. Pressure waves race through the tunnels at the speed of sound, pulverizing everything. All advanced IR-6 centrifuges are shredded, floors lifted, massive steel walls collapse. Scientists and technicians inside are crushed by shockwaves or collapsing concrete. Temperatures spike thousands of degrees Celsius. S-300 officers 3 miles away feel the ground trembling beneath them. They think it's an earthquake, but it's the scream of a mountain being gutted. 4:30 a.m. at CENTCOM headquarters in Tampa, Florida. The large cold room is now flooded with screen light. Commander Senkorm stands before the operations wall. Behind him is the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, who flew through the night to monitor the mission personally. An officer approaches. General, he reports, voice tense but steady. Operation Desert is complete. Final confirmation codes. Alpha and Bravo neutralized. Reaper 1 damaged but stable. Currently en route to the refueling base. Reporting results. Fordow has been erased. 2 GBU-57 MOPs permanently destroyed the main centrifuge halls, rendering the facility unusable for at least 20 years. Natanz has been neutralized. Special operations and B-2 strikes destroyed backup power and infrastructure, setting back the nuclear program by years. Iranian air defense's entire S-300 coverage in the target area were defeated despite launching 8 missiles. Friendly casualties: 1 B-2 Spirit suffered engine and left-wing damage, but crew is safe. 36 hours later, news of an unexplained seismic event near Komam and complete blackout at Natanz floods global media. The Iranian government declares it a tragic mining accident. This operation has shut Iran's nuclear window and sent an unmistakable message to any nation considering a challenge to American global military power. However, it is also the beginning of a new geopolitical storm. Iran will certainly retaliate through proxy forces, and the threat of closing the Strait of Hormuz remains. Even so, the primary objective was achieved: halting Iran's nuclear program. Is this a decisive victory or merely the beginning of another war? Leave your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates on global military operations.